Welcome to Soul Sync.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, queens and kings.
Welcome to Soul Sing.
Oh, this is just the best time of the week, I swear.
Our weekly therapy.
Yeah, we always call it therapy because I swear like we're just letting things out. We have a hot girl walk before our podcast sometimes, and it is so just like rejuvenating.
Mm-hmm.
So we come here ready to go, ready to flow.
Yes, I fucking love that. And I feel like my computer doing that little ping is just like the angel's like, yep, you guys are on the right path. Keep doing what you're doing. So I definitely think the hot girl walk, like for any of you guys who just need like a morning routine, just something to get you up and going. Like Taylor was saying this morning, there is nothing that gets you up and feeling good like a hot girl walk. It just, even when you're tired, it wakes you up.
Oh my God, yes. The sunlight, the fresh air. And I was just telling Sammy, I was like, I gotta be more disciplined with things. I have to set my schedule, wake up early. And honestly, I think the hot girl walk, like bright and early, like ass crack of dawn, 5:30 in the morning, is gonna be a game changer in waking me up. It's like coffee, but better.
I fucking love you. It really is. I actually have to be better about that too. So, today, our topic of the day is obviously going to be discipline. Okay. And I definitely need to be better about that too, because there's some areas that I feel like I'm so good with my discipline. And there's other areas where I could improve. I think we all could improve, you know? So, Taylor and I this morning were like, it's what time we wake up. Maybe you're just like kind of just rolling out of bed 15 minutes before work, or maybe you're waking up at different times and you never have an accurate time that you just are like, okay, you need to get up right now. Like, get the fuck out of bed, you know? So we've been talking about what times we would want to wake up. And both of us were like, before the sun. We want to like wake up and see the sunrise and get our bodies moving. And I think that there's just such a power to it. And we wanted to talk you through like what we have been doing when it comes to discipline, but also where we're going to improve in that and how we're going to do that with actionable steps.
Yes. Oh my God. I feel like this is going to be such a game changer. Like, if you know me, you know I am not a morning person at all. I've been saying this forever. But also, like, the more I say that, the more I'm manifesting it for myself. So I just have to shut up about that and be like, I can do hard things. I can wake up early. And yeah, and just like telling myself these lies. So I'm gonna do it because I feel like I've been waking up so late, and then like I have only a couple hours to do all my errands, do everything I need to do before I have like a full day of work. And then I come home exhausted and I'm like, well, that was
Mhm.
my day. Like, that's it. So it's about prioritizing. Like Sammy was telling me earlier too. She said, oh my God, the best advice ever. But part of it was make sure like you remember your priorities and remember what order they're in and really like keep a clear level head with things because you can get overwhelmed very easily. And Sammy knows about this firsthand because I have experienced her go through the whole process of having her own business, leaving her, corporate job and jumping into the unknown and being so disciplined with that it started up and it just took off. And now she's absolutely killing it, killing all of her manifestations. I feel like whenever we talk on the podcast, we end up just hyping each other up like the whole time, which is amazing. Like, love that. But it's true. Like I always said, Sammy, like your discipline is so inspiring because she doesn't she doesn't fall for like the quick fix, quick pleasure type thing. It's like, no, I want, this type of body. I want this type of life. I want this type of house, this type of job. And it's like she does not quit until she gets it. No matter how she's feeling, she drags her ass into the gym every day. And girl, kudos to you. And I'm manifesting more of that for myself. So,
I fucking love you. I love you so much. You are so right. Like, but you know what? Sometimes you need that hype. Like, you need it. And I think that this is so important because I've had stages, and I know exactly what you're talking about, Taylor, when you're like, I just need more discipline. Like, I've had stages where I was in college and I was just going to class. It was like I would wake up and the first thing I would do is go to class all day long. And then I would come home, I'd eat some ice cream because I felt like I deserved it. And then I would take a nap and then I would get up, I would eat some dinner. And that was my motherfucking day. I would end it scrolling on TikTok. And like I just felt like very all over the place because I had no structure and no routine. But I also was feeling so negative about myself because I was constantly beating myself up about the things that I wasn't doing. And that's why when Taylor was telling me all these fucking amazing manifestations that she is like working on right now, I was like, okay, I fucking love all of this, but we're going to be honest here. It is a lot. And I need you to make sure you know what your priorities are. And I need you to make sure you're taking care of yourself because I think that's really what it's about. It's about like understanding the hard truth of running a business is not fucking easy. And I was just telling my best friend Tara about this. Like she's in the position I was where she's working her 9 to 5, but she also wants to start her business. And she also doesn't have many people in her life that truly understand. And it's because you don't understand unless you're going through it. And I think that's why when you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business or you're not working a corporate 9 to 5, you will be drawn to others that are in a similar situation as you because you truly understand. You understand the pressure. You understand how it's your responsibility to do everything. Like if you aren't doing it, it does not get done. There's no like Karen that you could go to and be like, hey, can you help me with this? Like, that does not exist. So I feel like with my fitness journey, I lost my weight first. And that's truly where I learned my discipline. And I know Taylor has an amazing quote that she's going to share with you guys, but that's where I learned my self love because I learned through going and getting my hot girl walk in, through feeding my body 3 whole meals, through working out and really allowing my body to sweat out that stress and just focus on me. Like that's really it too. Like when you have discipline, you're able to schedule time where you just turn off your brain and you just get to be present. And I think that is just as important. So that's my advice to her was okay, know what your priorities are because baby girl, we're going all in. I'm here to support you. I'm going to help you with whatever you need and I know you can do this, but two, make sure you're taking care of yourself because it's very, very easy. As you guys know from my last episode, when I told you about the move, it's very easy to let your priorities of the self care fall. And then you're feeling burnt out and you're left with nothing. So it's like I was telling Taylor, like, this is precautionary. This conversation right now is just to plan for the future so that you are set up for success the whole way through and you don't even experience that because you're already thinking about the action steps to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yes. Oh my God. And I feel like that is everything. Just being as proactive as you can and just being like, this can happen. Like,
Mhm.
no one is immune to that overwork, overstressed. What's the word that we used before?
Burnout.
Burnout. How could I forget burnout? Oh, there's a difference between like pushing yourself
Hmm.
and like breaking yourself. Like when you're off the deep end and you're so like just out of whack, can't get a single thought straight in your head.
Hmm.
Like it's not healthy and it's not a good state to be in and not a good healthy state of mind to be in either. And
Hmm.
honestly, it's probably not a good energy to be in, you know? Like what would you attract in that type of energy if you really think about it?
Honestly, like probably nothing good, you know? Like I remember there was a point in my business, it was like over the fall when we had just moved to South Carolina. And I thought that this move was gonna be like the best thing ever. Like it was like my first big manifestation. I really wanted to leave my hometown. I just felt like I was so done with that chapter and I really wanted to step into like the fitness coach Sammy. But the thing is that I didn't really understand who that was at the time because it was so brand new and because I had jumped in, I didn't really allow myself that time and I was just working 24 fucking 7 that it was like I did hit complete burnout and I was not prioritizing myself. I did gain 10 to 15 pounds, which I'm grateful I was able to lose and I was able to talk about on my social media and with my clients about like what not to do. But I've just been through it, you know? So that's why it's like you can manifest that happening, but you can also manifest bad things happening as well. Like I remember my first retreat with Michaela after I had moved. she had told me, she was like, Sammy, you can just as easily manifest things not going your way as you can them going your way. And I was so grateful I was in the MMM method. So I was literally having coaching calls with her all the time. But I was manifesting bad shit happening, like attracting really bad clients who genuinely wanted to drink all motherfucking day and just never went to the gym no matter how much I was like, hey, let's go get a workout in. Hey, just start with a walk. Hey, just start with swapping out the alcohol for some water. I'm not telling you to stop completely, but you're not doing anything for your goal. And then they were just such a pain in the little booty and they didn't want it. So it was like I was attracting those kind of people into my life that was just causing me more and more stress. So it's like I feel like when you get to that point, you're going to manifest more bad things because, like you said, you're in that energy.
Yes. Oh my God. Could not have said that better myself.
Also, I'm so sorry. Nala and Boomy have been so vocal throughout this podcast. So if you just heard her bark or you heard Boomy meowing before, we're pet friendly over here. So
Yeah, love it though. It's literally whenever I hear Boomy's little meows, I get so excited.
girl, you should have heard him in the motherfucking car ride. Like, talk about discipline. You cannot get mad at a cat when you're on a 20-hour drive and they don't understand what's going on and they meow every other minute. Like, it was no joke. At one point, I was like, Umi, it's okay. Like, so annoyed. My head was pounding. So talk about discipline. Like, you can't yell. You can't get mad at something like that. But I was like, what lesson is this teaching me?
Yeah.
Patience? I unconditional love? I'm not really sure.
Yes. Definitely all of the above, I think. Boomy was saying, are we there yet? Hello? Why am I still in the car?
He really was. Thomas called me yesterday and he was like, I knew that your cat was okay because I was telling my clients every time I talked to you, all you heard was meow in the background. And he goes, he was perfectly fine. He had no issues. I was like,
Oh my God.
nope. So, but I feel like that trip in general, I'm so grateful for how much I did plan. And this is something I also talked about in the last episode about my move. But this is another reason why discipline can be so important is because, like, me planning, having my meal prep, having everything ready for the pets, thinking about the drive, knowing where I was stopping, knowing where I was staying, and having the hotel already set up. Like, I worked really long days. I worked on my business. I still went to the gym all the way up until the day before I moved. I still was eating whole quality meals. I did not order takeout once within my week of moving, which I know y'all bitches are getting it multiple times a week. So, like, that is how much discipline I had. I did not order takeout once. I cooked every single meal up until the day before I left. Like, the dinner before I left was something that I cooked for myself. So I'm honestly like, I'm kind of so impressed by the discipline that I had because I did work such long days and really long nights, and doing everything completely alone while Tom was at work was like very exhausting and overwhelming. And I kind of felt all of the things that you were feeling, and I could have easily turned it into burnout. But having that discipline to have everything planned, I really set myself up for success there. And I also made sure to have discipline to have my self care and to take a bath at night and to make sure I was journaling and doing my morning meditations and making sure I was prioritizing like my morning routine and fitness because that was honestly the only thing getting your girl through. Okay. Was that. And you can ask Taylor because I tell her about all my crazy ass spiritual experiences.
I love it though. Oh my God. But it's so true. It's like sometimes the hard things to do are the most beneficial things. And it's like, oh, I don't have energy to go to the gym, or oh, I don't have energy to pack like all this food for the trip. But it's like, okay, but you're exchanging that energy for so much good down
Mhm,
the road. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be like such a difficult process or difficult thing to do. It's like it's all what you make it. It's all the
Yes.
mindset that you have around it. And you really changed that mindset for me with the gym too. Like just like showing up. Like start with just showing up And then once it's more habitual, like if you're not feeling good, if you have cramps or something, she's like, go light. Like no one is forcing you to like have like a 2-hour workout every time you go to the gym, which for the
Mhm.
longest time, that would be a thing for me. I would always just like think about the gym and think about being there for so long and dying after everything and like having to work my whole day around that. And I'm just like, no, like that's not true. So it really is like the story we tell ourselves and then what we're willing to like exchange that type of energy for. And it's all good things. Like it's all like valuable things and it's real dopamine and
Yeah.
real serotonin, it's not like quick fixes. Like you could have easily went to McDonald's every day like on the road trip. You could have
Mhm.
easily, like threw out all your things and decided you were just going to buy all new things. But it's like, yeah, those are really quick, like not time consuming, very fast pleasures. And there are so many things like that, like shopping, like going on a shopping spree and not thinking about where the money's going, but being like, I want it and I don't care. And I'm not thinking about anything like besides that. And like it all kind of adds up and it's kind of like planting your seeds in a way too, right? So it's like, if you plant these seeds of success and just putting you in a good place, even if it's a morning walk, putting you in a good
Mhm.
mindset, a good headspace for the day, and getting your body up and pumping and moving, like that is so slept on sometimes with people. And I feel like the value in that is just so limitless.
Mhm.
Everything piggybacks off of something else. So when you have discipline, you're really choosing to show up for yourself and to show
Mhm.
up for those good, healthy habits and in turn, a lifestyle that you actually want to have. Don't sleep on discipline. I have waves too. Like I feel like it's very up and down for me. And when I'm down and I like allow myself to feel so down that I'm just like, I want to just skyrocket up now. I'm sick of
Mhm.
feeling like this. And then that's what I do. So yeah, the next thing for me is definitely finding that like steady like discipline. But it's easy when you're passionate about something
Yeah.
and when you decide for yourself that you definitely want it and you're just so sure of yourself and you're like, I deserve this. I love myself and I've been through enough shit and I'm going to get this and I don't care what I have to do it. I'm
Mhm.
going to do it. And you know what? That's when it happens.
I fucking love that. And I love just the idea of the whole like energy behind it. And I think even with that, it's kind of like the mindset behind it too. I think when it comes to discipline, so many people associate it with it being hard, right? Like you talking about the gym and it's like you have to be there for 2 hours. That sounds really hard, compared to, you know what, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the best that I can do. Let's see what I can do. That sounds a lot easier. And I think that's something that I really utilized throughout this whole transition was like you had said, it was like, one, we're going to change everything that we feel fearful, we feel is going to be hard to I'm so excited to. But another
Mm,
thing I did was I was like, this is so easy, So when it came to selling my furniture, I had so many people, like more than 3 people throughout my move, tell me, selling things on Facebook Marketplace is so hard. Nobody ever shows up. They'll just respond to you and then they won't get back to you. Let me tell you, I put the intention to selling my things on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm so proud to say that I basically replaced all of my items for my house with that money that I made from selling my items. Okay. Like, seriously. And I, the whole time, was like, this is so easy. And sure, there were some things that I ended up giving to Goodwill and I donated, but every single interaction that I had with the people that were buying my stuff were so lovely. I even had a guy send me a picture of a nice little cappuccino that he made with my egg chair outside and he was like, "This is such a vibe. Thank you again." And it made my heart so happy because it went to a good home and I fucking loved that egg chair,
yeah.
Or even with the drive. Like I remember so many people were like, "Oh my gosh, be safe, Sammy. Like, watch where you stop. Like, you might have a ton of miles where you don't have any gas." The whole time, I was like, "You know what? It's gonna be easy. I'm gonna figure it out." And I was telling my stepdad, I was like, so many people were worried about like all the open land and not having gas. I was like, I had the easiest time ever. I felt like there was an exit. Every single one had gas. Like every single couple of that I don't know, maybe like 50 miles or something like that. There was a rest area. Like it was very easy for me to find places to stop and get gas. And the people were all so lovely. Like I attracted stopping in the best places. And all I did was listen to my intuition of where I felt called. But these were things that people had warned me and were like, this is going to be hard, like be careful. And that very just like weary energy. And when I matched it with, no, I'm going to be good. This is going to be easy. I remember my stepdad told me, he was like, Sammy, you are way too nonchalant about this. He was like, this is a serious thing. You're traveling across the country alone with your two pets. And I was like, what? Like, this is going to be fine. I was like, this is going to be something I want to do all the time. And he was like, I feel like you should be more like nervous. And I rejected that energy. And I was like, no. So that's like another thing with discipline as well is like, it really is an energy. So when you match it with the energy that you want of mine saying this is so easy, but also having the mental discipline that no matter what anybody else said, I knew what was true to me. I think there's a really big power in that as well.
Holy shit. Yes, there is. And it's so true. Like when you hear the word discipline, at least for me, like there's such a weird energy around it of just like difficult. Like that's what the first thing is, like strict,
Yeah.
difficult, straightforward, like just very stern energy of like this or nothing or whatever, all or nothing. But
Yeah.
you're so right. It's like, why? It's so important.
Mhm.
And it is exactly what you make it. And it is the highest form of self love. So before I forget, let me read this quote that I just love. It says, nobody wants to tell you why discipline is so important. Discipline is the strongest form of self love. It's ignoring current pleasures for bigger rewards to come. It's loving yourself enough to give yourself everything you've ever wanted because you deserve it. Queen.
I love it. I feel like that's a vision board quote.
Yes, it is. It's so true. It's like self-love, you could tell yourself all day long, like how much you love yourself, how pretty you are, how whatever. But it's like when you match action to the words, I
Mhm.
think is more so what the quote is saying. That's when you prove to yourself how much you love yourself or how much you value your health, how much you actually value your friendships, let's say, and your time and what you're doing, your job. So it's really like matching that energy with the affirmations you speak and being disciplined enough and caring about yourself enough to put energy into it and to do the work.
Yeah, I think it's also like seeing the discipline is for the all of your areas in your life having success, like what you were saying of like this isn't just discipline for your fitness so that you look and feel good or for your career so that you make more money and you feel a little bit more financially free. Like this is discipline so that you have time to have hour conversations with your best friend no matter how busy you are, and you get to catch up and you get to have that weekly therapy together, or that discipline for you to spend date nights with your partner and have quality one-on-one time where you guys get to connect and interact and love each other in that way, or discipline to spend time with your family. Like Taylor will make it a priority for her to take her niece Ava to the park or to the beach or something, no matter how many things she has planned. She will tell me she has so many errands to do because she's working like a fucking dog right now, and she still makes time for her little niece because she wants her to get outside and she wants to be a big part of her life, which she is. And it's beautiful. So it's like, I also want you guys to think about discipline is being you're able to create such beauty and harmony in all areas of your life when you're disciplined in all areas of your life, because that's really what we're creating it for, you know? Like, we're here, just like the quote said, to experience and enjoy and to really love ourselves that much.
You're so right. Hold on, can you hear that giant helicopter that's going over right now or no? Oh, and that's on living at the shore, the Jersey Shore. But dude, when you said like that's the harmony of it, like if you want to bring harmony into your life in that
Mhm,
way, that's exactly how you do it. Harmony and discipline have such, I don't know, like different feelings, but I feel like they coexist so perfectly together.
mhm,
And it's like you can't have one without the other. Figuring out your priorities, I think, is a step one to be able to be like, okay, what is a non negotiable for me
mhm,
and why? And how serious am I about it? You know, like, am I manifesting this just because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't, I don't know.
mhm.
Or are you like, from this day on, this is what I choose to, what's that word I'm thinking of? This is what I choose to blank with.
Um, Connect?
Resonate. This is what I choose to resonate with. See, you're not the only one with word dyslexia.
Oh my gosh. Like, I love how authentic we are on the podcast because there's sometimes where like my throat will just like close up and it'll just be like a word will like kind of half come out and I'll have to like repeat the word or the word dyslexia. It gets me. Like, and it'll always happen when I'm either podcasting or I'm doing a coaching call with my girls and I just say the complete wrong word and I immediately correct myself, like, sorry, I meant this. I don't know why that came out. But I
Sorry,
think
I had
the
no
more
idea.
we joke about it, the better it is.
Yeah, oh my God. It's funny because like I feel like everyone's like that too. Like everyone has those moments where you're just like, I had a client come in and I was like, so how you feeling? Like just introduced each other. And he went to talk and like swallow his water at the same time and he started like literally choking for like 10 minutes straight. Oh my God, I feel so bad for laughing. But we were cracking up laughing about it because he was like, oh, what a way to introduce myself. What a great first impression, like whatever. But it like broke the ice and then we were so
Yeah.
comfortable, you know? So it was just funny. I'm like, dude, you're human. Like, relax. If you only knew the words that I mess up on a daily,
Mhm.
shit. A little tangent for you.
Oh, yeah, you never know where we're gonna go over here at Soul Sake.
For real. Shit. So maybe we have homework for you guys.
I like that.
Maybe that homework is to find out where your priorities are. Where do they lie in your life? What's at the top of the list? What's at the bottom? And maybe take a close look at the top three
Mhm.
and look at the actions that you're taking every day to prioritize those priorities. This is coming from the advice of Miss Sammy over here because the pep talk I got from her this morning was very similar to this. And it was exactly what I needed to hear. So I know it's exactly what someone else needs to hear. So thank you, Sammy.
Oh, girl, I got you, you know? And I think it's also important that sometimes your priorities might change and sometimes you might need to reevaluate them. So maybe, you know, you had these priorities for the spring and you were doing X, Y, and Z. And now we're here in the summertime and those priorities might have changed, but you're still doing the action steps for the old priorities. And that could really be that like change for you, you know? Because I know that's where I'm at, where all of my priorities since April, May were for the move, but now the move is done. So it's like I don't really need to prioritize the packing and the planning and the setting up the electric and all those things anymore. Like everything is set up. Now I get to prioritize like getting into my routine again, creating a new routine. I think that's also just like a good journal prompt for you guys too is what would my perfect everyday look like? Because I really think about that. And that's where earlier in the beginning of this episode, when we were talking about waking up earlier, anytime I think about like my perfect day, I'm like, I love the sunrise and I love my hot girl walk. So why don't I just start my day with doing that? But one thing that holds me back is I love to start my day as well with a meditation, and then I go into journaling. So maybe that little switch that I can make is okay, maybe I still meditate in the morning for my 20, 30 minutes, but then immediately I go for a hot girl walk and then I come back, I journal, I get ready. And that can be the one difference that I make, you know? So just to give you guys kind of an example and let you know that it's okay to switch it around too. Like something might not be working, something may be working, but you just may want to try something new. So give
Mhm.
yourself just like that time and that space to do so and really think about like what would my perfect everyday look like? Because truly, when I think about that for myself, like podcasting is one of them, you know, going to the gym is one of them. Talking to my clients, I fucking love talking to my clients. So that is something I want to do every day, even when I try to set work hours and then I don't honor them because I love talking to them so much, you know? So it's just like, think about these things that just light up your soul and do more of it. That's definitely going to be your homework as well. Like, I want you guys to do the priority list, but then I want you to immediately start taking action and not tomorrow, but like as soon as you're done, start acting like that version of you. Start implementing what the fuck you wrote down because writing it down is going to be nothing if you don't take the action steps for it.
Yes. 100 times yes. You heard the woman?
Mhm. So y'all know what to do, okay? And we're
Oh,
excited. Please come back and like share with us what your priorities are or what part of this episode really resonated with you. Maybe you can send this to your best friend too. Maybe they need a pep talk like Taylor did. You know, maybe you send this to your partner or you send this to your mom. Like send this to somebody that you feel like could really use a pep talk right now because discipline is the ultimate form of self care. And at the end of the day, we all deserve self care because that equals self love. And we are here to love ourselves and love life. And I am so fed up of people like not acting like that and feeling like they have to be miserable because you truly do not. Like you don't, it's a choice.
yes. We choose all this, you know? Well, we don't choose where we are born or grow up or anything like that, but we do have some choice.
I mean, if you were to talk to Mark, he would say that we come on this planet with those contracts signed. So he would actually say that you did kind of choose where you were born, what family you were born into, but we just don't remember. So technically, we don't get a choice, but we did
I
at
know.
one point.
At some point when I was just stardust, when I was just a soul, I made the choice. I don't know. Anyway, you know that's gonna roll into a whole nother half an hour.
Oh yeah, we don't gotta do all that.
So on that note, you guys, you know where to follow us at Taylor
Mhm.
Babble on Instagram. We have our Soul Sync account, Soul Sync SB on Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube, and our Ask Us account, of course. Sammy.
And y'all can find me on Instagram, well, all platforms, but it's gonna be SAMIRUESS, and y'all know Instagram has the underscore.
I love that. Don't forget that underscore.
Well, until next time, we love you guys, and we hope this really helps you to motivate you a little bit and give you that little kick in the butt you need to accomplish all your goals.
Hell yeah. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.